What's up, people? This is Chess with Pawns, back for episode 7 of Path to 1000 ELO. Last episode, we got there, 1000, then I messed up. I couldn't sleep last night. I had my phone. I was watching chess videos, trying to get better at my openings, and then I thought I saw a couple things that I can use. Ended up playing a tournament, and then I just got whooped. I won a few games in the tournament, but overall I lost a lot of games. I played about 10 of them. So I brought my ELO down to 970. Sucks. I don't suggest playing tired like I was last night. You just don't see things. You got to have the right mental space. So we are back at 970, and we have to try to work our way back up to our 1000 ELO. So we'll start the game. I really don't want to go over any recap from last night. It was just a bad, nothing to really learn there. Just besides not playing while you're tired. So we'll do the London. One thing I did learn though is that I'm really bad about protecting my center squares in the beginning of the game when I'm black. I let this pawn just like march its way up, and then it just blocks me in fully, and I can't make any moves. And I need to get better at castling my king early, because I found out too during like the mid game, end game. My king is just out in the middle, and they're putting me in check, and then they're taking pieces through forks. So we're gonna do better there. So I'm just gonna make sure that I castle right away. We're gonna stay on top of time. Okay, so we are learning as we go here, and how to get better ELO rating. Castle your king, develop your pieces, connect your rooks, control the center. These are all things that we all know, but we decide not to do. Here, so I can save my bishop, I think that we just gotta play simple, and just offer the trade, what she's gonna take, what my opponent is, and then we'll take it with either the pawn, which will push this horse out, or we can take with the pawn, or we can take with the horse. And this horse is going to get in their way, and it's going to be very bothersome to my opponent. So I think I want to do that. They might bring their bishop down here after the fact, but nice and simple. Just leave our pawn structure intact here. We still have control of the e5 square, which is important for the London. Okay. Next thing is to get this knight out. Okay. He's playing somewhat of a King's Indian here. Like I said, get our pieces out. All right. Connect the rooks, and then we're in good shape. Then we can start pushing these pawns. I feel like I need to use my pawns more. That's another thing I kind of noticed, is that I'm just not utilizing my pawns as well as I would like to. So my opponent, if they move here with the knight, that could be troublesome. So I'm going to create an escape route with my king here. Hopefully, see what they do here. They can push this pawn up. Mainly it was just so I don't, yeah, so they did that, that's fine. I don't want to break up my structure too much here. Now I can take, and then they'll take, and then they have this line to the king, which is no bueno. So I think I'm just going to push up like this, and then kind of create like a wall, a little area for my king, if need be. I don't need to worry about that move quite yet. So now I need to start figuring out, so here we go. So this is something that's bothering me, is that they don't allow my pieces to come out. It's very annoying, because I want to get my queen into the game, but we'll go ahead and create this battery a little bit. I'm going to start moving a little faster here, hopefully, in order to, okay, so they want to trade, and they're going to win on that trade because of that bishop. But it really opens up the board for me, which I like. So I'm going to put pressure on the b7 pawn. They can't really move the bishop because it's pinned to the pawn, or it's protecting the pawn. Okay, now we are castled. Okay, my opponent is not quite yet. They really don't have an option to go this side, king side, because this whole side of the board is open, so it doesn't matter for them. And then they take my pawn. Gosh darn it, guys. So I put pressure on the queen here. He just moves the queen here, and then I'm nothing. My king is a sitting duck. Okay, what can we do? What can we do? Checks, captures, attacks. So if I put him in check here, it really doesn't do much because he just blocks it with the bishop. Then I can come back, maybe take this pawn. We're just down 2 pawns. That's all we're down, so not a big deal. We can come back from this. So let's go ahead and develop. Now this bishop here is hanging, so I gotta watch out for that. We're just gonna develop our rooks to the center of the board, and they checkmate me. How? Oh my goodness, guys. And this is what I'm talking about. Oh, it's annoying, it's annoying, it's annoying, it's annoying. Okay, let's start our game review. So, I mean, we were pretty even all the way through the game, and then I made this move, which was the queen. That was a blunder. You allowed the opponent to capture a knight and win material after the following trades. So yeah, my opponent came in and they attacked the knight. I took back and they attacked it with the bishop, and they put that bishop in a good spot because that bishop was seen here. And then I didn't even see the queen. And that's what really, it put my opponent up 1.7. See what the next thing I did wrong. That was a good move by my opponent, obviously threatening checkmate. And then I blundered this because I didn't even see the checkmate. God, so that's another thing I need to work on here is the checks, captures, attacks from my opponent's side as well. Sorry about the screen there. Okay. All right, we're gonna do one more because that was a quick one. I'm gonna try to get that ELO back. All right, here we go. We are white again. We're gonna stick with the London. The London is good. It's a good opening. I just gotta make sure I learn all the lines, the basics, move the pieces out. Okay, get all your minor pieces out. They're playing the King's Indian. We're not gonna let that bother us. We're just gonna keep developing our pieces, castle our king, and get into a good setup here. So, and then connect the rooks. That's the goal. And they're doing the same on their side, which is great. Then we get into a good mid game here. Okay, so I like to go over here when they play the King's Indian because it puts pressure on this pawn, but they kind of block that scenario with their queen. They're probably going to go here next. So it looks like they kind of know the line for the London. So what we're going to do is we're going to march this pawn up, really focusing on this e5 square. And so are they. So, but we got a lot of pressure there. So we're going to open this up a little bit. Okay, I like my pawn here as of now, but they are attacking my bishop. So they have no checks right now. They have an attack. They're attacking my bishop. So I got to put that thing to safety. If I go here, they still take. I can go here. It's kind of locking, but or I can just go here, nice safe move. Now, when I do this, I still have 2 pieces protecting the e5 square, but they have 2 as well. So we will, boom, take that. I'm going to open up the position a little bit. So you see that my opponent with the King's Indian, they got full control of that e5 square. And that's not what I want them to do in the London system, right? We want to control that square, okay? So this, gotta find if there's any attack here. So I can put this here, but then they might trade my light squared bishop, which I don't want, because the board is open. So bishops are valued. Okay, I got pressure here on this square in the middle, double time, got some pressure here. Okay, they are up a pawn. Okay, they pinned my knight. So we'll go ahead and see if they want to make a trade or not. And they will, because they want to open up my, go here. Okay. Move the queen because it's under attack. I might put an option to trade the rooks here because I want more control of the center. Even though I'm down a piece. Okay, so they have a plan. They want this square here. So we want to see what we can do to help combat that. I can move my bishop back down. We'll do that. Alright, so my opponent wanted to go here. Now they're thinking. Okay, so they move the pawn up. There's the square that we wanted control of, but they have it. Okay, so I can move my knight here, which puts pressure here and here. I can put pressure on their knight here, and they would have to go either here, which they cannot, or they can go here, which I'll take, and they'll take. I wonder, we got 6 minutes, 36 seconds, so we can think just a little bit here. Kind of want to push this knight back out. So they can go, yep. Which kind of gives me control of this file a little bit more here. Thinking about maybe doubling up. No. Checks, captures, attacks. We have no check. I'm going to put pressure on this knight. And I'm just going to keep attacking the king side. Okay, so he can go here, which I will take. He can go here, which I'll take. He wants to go here, which I'm not going to allow. So to move my queen to safety, I can trade too. But then that will open up the pawn here. So I don't want that quite yet. Kind of want to get my queen out of the center squares. So I'm going to go here. And then they take, of course they do. If I put pressure here, the only place he can go, I think, is here or back here. Okay. And back and check. Can't do that. I think I want to get my rook to the center of the board. And I can push it over here too, put pressure on this square. put me in check again here, but I'll take. I get the queen in the game. So the queen, if it sees here, I can take that queen. So, but they might move a pawn here. I really don't like this knight. This knight's in the way. Gotta get rid of it. You got weak pawn structure here. So this knight's not doing much. So I'm going to get that into a spot where it can help protect this square. We'll do this. She's going to want to take here. And then I could take here. And I still have protection here from the queen. Might need to move my king back down. So my king is now open again. Okay. So if I take here, he then has to block his queen, or his queen can come in. He's got to block because I have my bishop here. So this is the mid game right now. So he has me on the run, but my opponent, I don't know what the rating, 950 call it, maybe 1,000, and they forked me. God dang it. That's why the king, gotta protect the king. Oh. $950s, man, they're good. Like, anybody at 1,000, like, everybody's grinding out here to try to get their elo up. It's just like, at this level, man, it's hard. They're not bad players at all. And he wants to go here to check. Or he's just going to take my knight. Checks, captures, attacks. I have no check going on. What can I do with this guy to help the situation? Nothing much. Put him here. Potentially, no, that's not gonna work either. He's gonna put me in check, yeah. And he's gonna end up taking my castle. It's tough, man. It's just tough. I mean, I felt like I did everything in the beginning that I've learned. I just don't know where I'm missing it. You know, if you guys, it's the mid game apparently. I mean, they played at a 1650 level. I played at 1150. Like, you guys can't see this, but it's saying that I played at 1150, but my opponent played at a 1650. They got an 86.4% accuracy. I got a 71.3, which is my average. Yeah, I had no blunders in that game. It says I had one miss. My opponent had 0. I had 2 mistakes. My opponent had 0, and then my opponent found 10 of the best moves. I found 5. They found 2 great moves. So they just outplayed me. They're a 965. So let's see where we kind of went wrong. So we're even here. Okay, that was a great move. And that kind of put them ahead in the game. So where did I mess that up? I moved that bishop down. I should just let him take my bishop. Is what it's saying. Which I don't get, because the correct move to get their knight out of the hands. So, oh, okay, because if I would have done this, then they would have had to take here. And then I can move my bishop here. I gotta think about things like that. So those are the things that I'm missing, those little tactics. Like, I would have had his queen and check. But I did it, so I moved my bishop, and then that gave control of the game, basically. Okay, this was a bad move. You allowed the opponent to win material through a fork. I should put my horse here. Let's see what they did. Yeah, they forked my queen and my pawn. And they took my pawn. And they put me in check too. And that really opened up my structure. And that's when they got me in trouble. That was a bad move. He permitted an opponent to win on a fork again. And they did. Didn't see that. I gotta start looking at my moves a little bit more before I make them. And checkmate. So well done by my opponent. Well deserved by them. There's 2 losses today. I'm at 954, so we're definitely not going to the right direction. Pretty soon these episodes will be called Path to 900, and I hope not. But I will keep learning, guys. Man, chess is hard. It's hard, but I enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy these series as well. Put in the comments below if you made it this far, what you want to see, what I can do better to make this channel successful. So I appreciate you guys, and we will see you next time. I think my schedule from here on out is going to be every Sunday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm going to post videos just to make sure that they're good quality for you guys. I don't want to rush this as I grow this channel, but I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.